Hello everyone, I'm Miguel DeLeo and welcome to another season of Sports Playback, the show that brings you all the best highlights, scores, and matchups each week from your favorite schools, Leuzinger, Lawndale, and Hawthorne, right into your living rooms. An exciting week 2 is already in the books in the young 2014 high school football season, as 2 of our 3 schools left Friday night with a win, one of which ending a long streak. Let's dive right into the action and check out the results. First up, the Leuzinger Olympians traveled to take on the Bishop Montgomery Knights, but it was the Olympians who came out swinging the sword as they fought to a 9-7 win over the Knights. A 4-yard pass from Edson Santos to running back Lionel Smith resulted in a first touchdown for Leuzinger, who then added a 30-yard field goal by kicker Steven Ortiz to give the Olympians the lead and the win. This wasn't pretty but very effective as the win broke a 16-game losing streak for the Olympians, who are now 1-1 on the season. This also marks the first win for new head coach Damian Porter. More on Leuzinger a little bit later on tonight. Next up, the Lawndale Cardinals took flight to Encino, California as they took on Crespi High School. The Cardinals were looking for their first win of the season as they looked across their field at a very tough Crespi team who came in sporting a 2-0 record. The Celts jumped to an early 21-0 lead over the Cardinals and didn't look back as they pounded Lawndale 49-0 in a tough loss for Coach Rick Mathieson and his crew. Now to the game of the week from last Friday. You saw it right here on CityTV Sports. It was a rematch from last year. This time it was Hawthorne who played host as the Blair Vikings coming off a streak-ending win of their own last week. Let's take a look at the action. Vikings moving the ball well on the ground in the first drive thanks to number 16 Kyle Kinley, who is coming off a 170-yard rushing game last week, gains 9 yards to a Blair first down. He ran the ball well early on, but for some reason, Kinley was not seen until the fourth quarter where things were clearly out of hand. The Hawthorne defense causes Blair to punt on fourth down. Number 16 Jamal Neal is back to return, and return he does. Takes it left, jukes the defender, and with blockers in front of him, takes it all the way to the house for the first Cougar touchdown. Neal starting for the Cougars. He's only a sophomore, one of the 9 starting for the Cougars, showing blazing speed and agility. The Cougars defense showed up Friday night to play, coming up with 2 fumbles on this drive. The second one recovered by number 45, Angel Harrow, giving great field position for the Hawthorne offense. 4 total fumbles on the night from Blair. First time this year, CityTV, the Hawthorne offense starting at the Blair 18-yard line. Hands off to number 5, Paris McDaniel. Goes right, shakes the defender, and stiff arms another as he scores his first of many touchdowns of the night. Hawthorne leads 14-0 in the first quarter. Following another turnover from Blair, this time the Cougars offense starts at the 17-yard line. Inside handoff to McDaniel up the middle, makes his way through the defense like a charging bull on his way to his second touchdown of the game. Hawthorne is up 21-0. Still in the first, a muffed punt by Blair gives the ball back to the Cougars at the 2nd-yard line. Who else but the Eiffel Tower himself, Paris McDaniel, gets the handoff and another touchdown stat on the sheet. Hawthorne leads 28-0, and it's looking like deja vu from last year's matchup. McDaniel had 4 total touchdowns on the night, and here's his 4th, this time from the 3-yard line, walks in the end zone untouched, putting up the Cougars 35-0 following the extra point, all before the half. They were not done yet. The passing game was on display as number 12, Carlos Jacobo, drops back, looks left, and has his man wide open in the end zone. Jamal Neal with a beautiful grab for his 2nd overall touchdown of the night. Neal, one of the young players that Coach Pacing is really excited about. Number 9, Saladin Davis comes in from McDaniel, who gets a much-deserved rest of the night off and picks up where Paris left off. On the toss, he runs 20 yards to a touchdown, showing his speed and power, and the Cougars hammer the final nail in the coffin as Hawthorne leads 51-0. Near the end of the game, Blair has put a nice drive together. A handoff to number 5, Chardine Blaylock, goes left and is sprung by a huge block on his way to 6 points for the first score of the Vikings. Unfortunately, though, time ran out. Hawthorne wins this one big, 51-6. This marked the first win of the year for the Hawthorne Cougars. What a great win for Hawthorne. Interesting fact, last year the Cougars got their first win, 69-0 over Blair. This year the same results in the end, but the scoreboard read a little bit differently. Despite that, Coach Paysinger was very proud of his young team, and Sebastian Spencer caught up with Coach after the game, and this is what he had to say.
Coach, you guys routed this team 51-0. What went on in practice this week in order for them to have a performance like this today?
Our whole goal was to focus on us. No one else, not Blair, not anyone else but Hawthorne High School. And that was our only goal, and that's what we came out to do.
This is your second year here, trying to redo the face of this franchise. What have you been telling these guys?
Dream. You got to dream. You got to work, the discipline, and stay focused. We have a new saying: winners versus losers. Winners find a way to get it done. Losers make excuses. We're not looking for excuses.
Definitely, you definitely have a lot of power in the backfield. Paris McDaniel as well, playing really well tonight, and so is Jamil too. Talk about those guys and what they mean to your team.
Well, Paris is a returning starter for us, so he's used to being in the grind and know what to do, and he worked hard in the offseason to get it done. Jamal, a receiver, he's a 10th grader. He's a young guy, but he's been playing his whole life, and he knows the game. He's a student of the game, and that's a plus.
And what do you look forward to seeing from them this season? I know you said, so to get to you, that you say you're very impatient, feel like you have a talented team, and you guys can make some moves this year.
Yes, we're very talented. If I can keep them focused and disciplined, we're going to surprise some teams this year.
I agree with Coach Paysinger. He does have a lot of talent on this year's squad. One of those talented guys is senior running back Paris McDaniel, who I've nicknamed the Eiffel Tower, and rightly so. He had 4 touchdowns in the win over Blair. Our sideline reporter Tamara Latta caught up with McDaniel after the big win.
What allowed your team to get this win tonight?
Well, before the game, we were just pumped up and fired up, and we just practiced every day, Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday for this game, and we were just ready. Thursday walkthroughs, we were just comfortable with what we were doing. Going through the emotions, and we just got out here and got our work done and just did what we were supposed to do and came out with a victory.
The Cougars are going to need McDaniel and everyone else to be on their A game as Hawthorne is on the road to take on Verbum Day, who is looking for their 3rd win of the year. This game will be played at LA Southwest College. And now for this week's Game of the Week. It pits 2 of our schools together as crosstown rivals meet once again. This year, Leuzinger hosts the Lawndale Cardinals. Lawndale is hungry for a win and will have to try to get it done at Olympian Field in front of a pumped and unsympathetic Leuzinger crowd. It will be interesting to see, though, how Leuzinger reacts coming off their first win in 17 games. Coach Porter will look to build on last week's victory as his young team showed signs of improvement against the Knights. Tonight, though, will be a much tougher test that we'll have to ace. The winners will not only get the W, but will also have bragging rights for a whole year. What more can you ask for? This is a great matchup you won't want to miss. So for the Sports Playback crew, I'm Miguel DeLeo. Let's throw it down the field. Guys, take it away.
All right, thanks, Egidio. This is the high school game of the week on CityTV. The Lawndale Cardinals have flown into the Lou House, where the Leuzinger Olympians will host the Cardinals tonight, and what a game it should be.
Should be an exciting game. Leuzinger coming off of a win last week. They broke an 18-game losing streak, and they got a little extra motivation because they haven't beaten this team in 7 years, and they've lost the last 2 years consecutively.
Rufus Washington with a new brim tonight. That is styling.
Thank you.
And McCall Hall, she's always styling. We welcome her into the CityTV stable. What about the Cardinals?
Well, we're looking forward to a very nice game tonight. Talked to Coach Mathiasen before the game. He let me know they have a few injuries going on, and they're expecting their players to come out very focused. They've been in the film room getting a lot of scout work in because they know that they have a few deficits at their positions. But they're ready, they're focused. Should be a good game.
And they're all friends on the Leuzinger Olympians and the Lawndale Cardinals, so it should be interesting. The coaches have been working hard. The players have been working hard. We'll work hard to bring this game to you. Coming up next.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Beautiful sunset is being created here by Mother Nature, who must be a football fan, and thanks for joining us for the game of the week. And it's going to be the Leuzinger Olympians. There you see their captains coming out to take the coin toss against the Lawndale Cardinals and their captains. And Rufus, a lot of question marks, but also a lot of anticipation because everybody loves a hometown rival.
They certainly do, and this is one that's been around for a while. These Olympians, again, as we mentioned in the pregame, have been on the short end of the stick against the Cardinals the last couple of years. That's a referee. We know that guy right there. That's Michael Barnes, also a basketball official extraordinaire. He's the white hat for tonight's contest.
All right, let's see if we can listen in to the coin toss. Whoops. Did he get a mulligan? Looks like Lawndale won the toss. That's quarterback Chris Murray for Lawndale. And Amaliki Lawaka.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So Lawndale will receive.
Was a bit of a challenge for Mike, but they got it. They got it right. Well, they won the toss, and presumably they won the toss and elected to receive. And ordinarily, as you and I know from years of watching this, as do many, many fans, the winning team will typically defer, which gives them the opportunity to make a decision, and they usually do decide to receive the ball and start the second half.
Okay, and also we're going to talk about some CIF rule changes. I know that you're all on top of that as well. Seems like it kind of pinched the coaches in preparing for games as well, as the people receiving the ball for the Cardinals will be Kristen Coleman and B.J. Parkinson, but now let's listen to the Leuzinger Olympian Band and our national anthem. The Leuzinger Olympian High School Band and our national anthem, a terrific rendition. And I know we had a game last week, but this is my first game back this season, and it's glad to be back. I believe this is my 10th year.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. You're getting
Am I getting on your nerves yet?
I think I can handle it, boy. If I can handle the constant changing of numbers.
That's right. Well, the reason that we're going to see a lot of number changes on Lawndale is because of injuries. And Coach Mathieson really having to work hard just to not only patch a team together, but to juggle numbers and positions, along with the head coach of the Leuzinger Olympians, Damian Porter, the new coach. As he will have Stephen Ortiz kick the ball off. And getting ready to receive the ball is Kristen Coleman and B.J. Parkinson. Parkinson is on the left on the far side. And we're just about ready to get underway. It's the side judge getting his crew in order. Stephen Ortiz, a 5'11" senior, finally gets the whistle, and we're going to get things underway. Happy New Year. Parkinson gets it at the goal line. Has some blockers in front of him, gets up past the 15-yard line to about the 17-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Lawndale.
And that's a good special teams play by the Leuzinger Olympians. The line to make, if you will, typically is a 20. And anything that stops the return team inside the 20 is considered good special teams play.
So here we go, the quarterback, Chris Murray, in the shotgun. And the familiar spread offense now for the Cardinals. Hands the ball up, or keeps the ball, and gets across the 20-yard line. A good gain of about 5 yards to the 22-yard line.
Murray, one of the better and more experienced quarterbacks in the South Bay. We've had the pleasure of watching him the last 3 years, Lou.
So up to the 23-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and about 5. Murray out of the shotgun again, back to pass, looks right. Gets away from the rush, and trying to get to the 1st down is spun down on a good defensive play by Leuzinger.
Expecting the horse collar call on that one, none given. Good defensive play by the Leuzinger Olympians as we see on the replay here. Wow, that's about as close as you can get.
Nathaniel Vaughn with the tackle, gave him a ride, so it'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Jalen Walker split wide to the near side for the Cardinals. Ball is handed off, nice hole, and through is B.J. Parkinson, and he could go all the way down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Lawndale.
That was a 72-yard touchdown run. Made it to the edge, Lou. Only had one guy to beat. Got the angle on him, and we'll see on the replay here. And just like that, the Lawndale Cardinals, who come in with a 2-game winning streak against these Olympians, go on top.
Well, Coach Mathieson was telling us before the game that even against Crespi, he could see Parkinson, see his natural talent, natural ability. And he said if there's a hole, he's going to take it to the house, and he just did. Andrew Racinos, even though he's injured lineman, he will kick it and make it through the uprights. With 10:17 left to go in the 1st quarter, it's 7-0 Lawndale over Leuzinger.
Wow, just like that. Talk about getting it started quickly. The Cardinals didn't waste any time establishing their attack. And again, as I said, that's set up in large part by the experience of Chris Murray at quarterback.
That's right, keeping him out of trouble. And good vision shown by Murray. So, am I correct? 74-yard touchdown run?
That sounds good. We'll take it.
So now kicking the ball off is going to be Anderson Racinos. And back to receive will be Lionel Smith and Nathaniel Vaughn for Leuzinger. And we're going to get an offside call right away. Somebody jumping the gun. But that was a nice hole by the Lawndale left side of their offensive line to really spring B.J. Parkinson.
And it certainly was. And I tell you, again, once he got to the edge, it was clear sailing.
5 yards. The kick will come from the 35-yard line now. Lionel Smith and Khalil Miller are back for the Olympians to receive the kick.
So special teams 5 yards offside. This time they wait for Anderson's kick, and that was going to give Leuzinger a good field position, even though the kick returner slipped and fell.
Slipped and fell on, and we can see certainly some soft spots on the field where he got a good return. Here we see him on the return right now. That's number 1 in your program.
It's Lionel Smith.
Wow. Tough break for Lionel because he had a nice head of steam going, and I think there was a lot more real estate to be had in front of him before he slipped and lost his footing at the 33-yard line.
So here we go. Get to see Leuzinger on offense for the first time. Edson Santos.
Another experienced quarterback.
Hands the ball off. We'll see. This could be a battle of the offensive lines tonight, Rufus, as the running back Adrian Gatera gets about a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And the Olympians have some beef across their offensive line, and we'll get those to you in a second. While we've got a moment, let me tell you that the officiating crew is the referee, Mike Barnes. The umpire is Paul Just. The head linesman, Bob Henselman. Line judge, Herb Thompson. And the back judge is Ron Williams.
Santos, a 6-foot senior, out of the shotgun. Quick pass, wide receiver screen. It's complete, and that's almost a first down. Looks like it could be good enough for a first down, as that was completed to Nathaniel Vaughn.
And they do spot it as a first down, so they'll move the chains. So the Olympian offense getting uncranked.
So first completion. We'll call that a 10-yard and a first down. Running play again. Goes to Galera, and not quite a yard. We're going to give him a call of a yard.
You know, Lou, in talking with Coach Porter earlier this week, one of the things he said is that they're going to keep it pretty simple. It's just straight ahead football. They'll run, and run some more and mix the passing game in here and there. And we've seen that already here on this opening drive.
One back set, 3 receivers to the near side, and an H-back catches the ball and gets hit. That's Lionel Smith. And we got a flag on the play. Looked like Brandon.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see this call. Officials are talking about it. Not quite sure that I saw it, but let's see.
Face mask, and that's going to be on Lawndale. So it's going to be an automatic first down. And a big one.
First down.
And that's tacked on to the end of the run. Let's see if we can spot it on the replay here.
So the pass was completed.
Pass was completed. Saw contact with the helmet, and that led to the face mask call.
And running right up the middle is Galera, down to the 30-yard line. So it was 1st and 10 from the 36.
About a 7 to 8 yard carry. It's going to be 2nd and short for the Olympians.
So down to the 29-yard line. So a 7-yard gain for Galera.
Referee timeout.
So an official timeout. somebody lost a hanky. So what about some of these rule changes that we don't get to see on the field that the coaches have to endure? Do you know about any of those?
Well, I've been doing some research on them, and I'll have something for you in the second half on it. You know, but one of the things that happens is that they take the coaches through the rule changes early, well, during the summer league, actually, to get them adjusted. And then, of course, it's up to the coaching staff to pass that along to the players.
So time is still out, and now Mike Barnes gets the clock rolling with 7:37 left to go in the first quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Olympians.
2nd down, about 3 yards to go from the Olympians. And the Cardinal
Running backs bookending Santos. Galera gets it right up the middle again, and that could be good enough for a 1st down.
Looks like they're going to spot him just a wee bit short, Lud. It's going to make it a 3rd and very makeable for the Olympians.
And good defense by the Cardinals down to the 26-yard line. So a 3-yard gain for Galera. Susai Fakava, the tight end on the right side, doing some blocking, but they get it to Galera. Galera goes over left tackle, and it's a 1st down for Leuzinger. So Galera's done the bulk of the carries here. The bulk of the offense gets down to the 24-yard line, so a 2-yard carry and a 1st down.
And, of course, this drive was helped out by that big 15-yard personal foul face mask penalty that put the Olympians in this position as they're approaching the red zone.
So a good drive being engineered by Santos. Looking left, and now gets caught and sacked from behind.
And that was what they call a coverage sack, Lou. As I was looking up the field, where he had 2 receivers out, but they were covered by excellent man-to-man coverage by the secondary of the Lawndale Cardinals.
So it's -2 on the play. Angelo Smith with the sack. So it'll be 2nd down and about 12.
Wow.
Wide open over the middle.
That's
Caught.
a touchdown.
Touchdown. Leuzinger. Lionel Smith. 26-yard catch from Santos.
With a touchdown pass from FC Santos.
1 point away. It's 7-6. Got a flag on the play, maybe celebration. But wide open across the middle was Smith. And he had nothing but green.
And that was the play they were looking for before. That's what I mentioned on the coverage sack. They were ready. That Santos was looking for that exact play. It didn't unfold the first time. They came right back to it, Lou, and it was good for 6 points.
Coming on to kick is Stephen Ortiz, trying to tack on the extra point out of the hold of Santos. Straight on kick, and it's up and good. 5:19 left to go in the first quarter, and we're all tied at 7. We got ourselves a ball game.
We got ourselves a great ball game.
So we're right in front of Lou House, and they are pumped up.
A 26-yard touchdown from Santos to Lionel Smith is going to even up the score with 5:19.
Let's look at the touchdown again, Ruth.
First quarter.
We're seeing the tail end of it here, where we see a wide open Lionel Smith. Defender goes for the interception, doesn't make it. 6 points the easy way.
So that was 11 plays and 66 yards in about 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes. So we'll call it, how about 4 minutes and 54 seconds? How about that?
Okay.
Nice drive.
Stephen Ortiz is set to kick the Olympians from the
So now the kick will come from Ortiz. Kicks it away from Parker this time. And
whoa!
Getting zipped on the play is Christian Coleman.
Wow, and that was number 34 for the Olympians. I've got him as Stephen Ortiz in my program.
That's the kicker.
Huh?
That's the kicker.
Okay, and boy, they talk about wanting to see replays. That's one I'm sure I know we want to see it.
Yeah, we got to replay that. So from the 41-yard line, we'll get it after this first play. Chris Murray hands the ball off to the 41-yard line, and that's Austin Manigo wearing number 7, and he gets a yard.
Okay. Here's a replay coming, fans, of that last hit you saw. You see the return man coming up and out of nowhere.
That's the kicker.
Who looks like a linebacker anyway. I mean, to tell folks he's the kicker without actually letting them know he's not your average size kicker.
And now the defense is fired up because Chris Murray couldn't do anything as he got maybe a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and about a long 8. So now when the kicker does a hit like that, that fires everybody up.
You got that right, brother.
4:03 left to go in.
Mic check, mic check.
Mike works, and now get Chris Murray back to pass. Has good protection over the middle, almost intercepted. Actually, that was out in the right flat. Good coverage by Jamal.
Got a couple of Olympians in there. Nathaniel Vaughn was in there along with Jamal Abawab.
It's getting a little dark here. Maybe we could turn the light on, you think? Or hey, down at the truck, what happened to our light?
Chris Murray is back to punt.
Okay.
Nathaniel Vaughn is deep
Okay.
for the Olympians.
So now we're going to get a punt. Chris Murray will do the punting, and he puts up a nice high spiral, a fair catch by Vaughn. And that's go down to McCall Hall.
So we have a very exciting first quarter already. Now, Lawndale came out on a mission. Junior wide receiver Brian Perkinson made a nice run all the way down to the end zone. But Leuzinger fired up with their Polynesian dance before kickoff, made a nice run in return. Quarterback Ed Santos led them down the field for a nice touchdown. Now, Coach Porter already let them know we're on a mission. Just because we had a nice score doesn't mean anything. We have to keep the defense up, keep it going, keep hitting, keep scoring. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, McCall. Ms. Hall from UW.
Excellent report. Excellent report.
All right. Love Seattle. And she was part of the Husky women's basketball team playing at Heck Ed. And we're glad to have her.
We're glad to have her. You know, it's a small world. One of her teammates this summer,
yeah,
I was working with as a budding official, but I think she's going back to basketball. Right. But I got to tell you, her teammate's brother is a great player. You'll be hearing about him. He's playing at Gar High School.
Oh, yeah?
Just goes by one. This is how good he is. He just goes by the name Bill. Bill. That's all you got to say when you go. And they know it.
All right.
But give credit to Coach Jason Miller, former athlete in these parts, who at Leuzinger, who's now coaching, in the area. Give me a second here. I know he was at Verbum Inglewood. He's at Inglewood now, Verbum Day last year. And, of course, they're playing tonight Hawthorne over at LA Southwest College.
Okay. So it's a small world after all.
Here's another guy who gave us, who took a shot at sitting up here and decided he had better pursuits in life.
Yeah, I would agree. He made the right choice. That is for sure. So we're waiting to get things underway. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's because we've got basketball coaches up here in the booth with us. But we haven't had any clock screw-ups yet.
First and 10 Olympians, their own 20-yard line.
And did you see who's sitting at the left end of the press box with us here?
I saw that.
Santos comes and gets sacked from behind. So a nice play by Angelo Smith. Or not, check that. That was Anthony Gray on the tackle. So a loss on the play of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 13.
Second down and 13.
And of course, the Leuzinger Olympians have got a nice crowd that have turned out tonight. And as we look across the field, the Lawndale Cardinal faithful are also out. And thus far, everybody's been treated to a pretty good football game.
So now from the 15-yard line, a running play over left tackle and maybe a yard. Not a whole lot.
Looked like it was Khalil Miller on the handoff.
And we'll see how the Cardinals set their defense on what will obviously be a passing down. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 13, just looking at the yard markers. We'll see what they put on the board. And
Khalil Miller, I'm sorry, Rufus, on the gain. So it appears that what, it's about the 18-yard, 17-yard line?
Right.
Yeah. And across the 20-yard line to just inside the 25-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and about 5 yards to go.
Yeah, 4th and a lot. Easy decision for Coach Porter, considering where they are on the field, deep in their own territory, that they'll have to kick it away.
So a 7-yard gain. Make that an 8-yard gain. And punting the ball is Steven Ortiz.
Low snap, high kick. It's going to be a bit short, but let's see if it takes a Leuzinger bounce. No, it doesn't. It's coming the other way. Guys, you got.
So finally falling on it is Adrian Galera. So to the 46-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
If you're on the kicking team, once that thing starts coming back toward you, that's the time to down it.
So the defense has taken over on the last 2 possessions for either team.
Lawndale with excellent field position to start this drive out at the 47-yard line.
And 1:56 left to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Murray hands it off. It'll go up the middle for a very short gain.
Brian Parkinson.
So it's B.J. Parkinson with, well, we'll give him a yard. So it'll be 2nd and a long 9.
2nd down, Cardinals.
From the 47-yard line with 1:25 left to go, clock running in the first quarter. Murray on the keeper, sneaks through, but a good shoestring stop on the play by number 47, and he's not on our list. Oh, okay, I just heard his name called, Savata.
3rd and 6 for the Cardinals, right at midfield.
Let's see if we can find him. I still don't see him.
But it's a 3-yard gain nonetheless. From the 50-yard line, under 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Back to pass, looking to the left. and had a man in and out of the hands of Jalen Walker, and also in and out of the hands of Markel Allen.
Actually, looks like that may have been Nathaniel Vaughn, number 3. Unless they've got almost had a handle on it.
4th down, about 6 yards to go.
So 32 seconds left.
Looks like
they're going to go for it. 4th down and a long 6.
Well, that's called believing in your defense.
Timeout taken by the Cardinals. Their first charge timeout of the first half. Gotta think about this 4th down again.
So now, I'm sorry, Rufus.
No, I'm trying to figure out who called the timeout. The indication from the official is that Leuzinger called the timeout.
It was Leuzinger. So there's the Lawndale Cardinal coach, Mathieson, having a teaching moment with one of his players. Darius Flowers playing defensive end tonight for the Cardinals. So they're still going to go for it. There's Chris Murray. 32 seconds left in the first quarter. And it's already a tight ball game. Got that feeling already. Murray
got plenty of time. Now there's a hole opening up.
Caught at the 40-yard line. I believe that was caught by Ryan Rothman for a first down.
Wow. Give the Cardinals a lot of credit on that, Lou. Boy, and that's the shiftiness of Chris Murray. We told you he's one of the better quarterbacks here in the South Bay, and you just saw it. Stood there, evaded the oncoming rusher, waited for the play to unfold, saw his receiver in the left flat, first down.
That's the end of the first quarter.
So the first quarter comes to an end, and it's a tie ball game. So pretty entertaining first quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals coming the other way. So now they're putting together a pretty nice drive. After Leuzinger put together a 66-yard drive of their own.
And of course the capstone to their drive, as we'll see on the replay here, Murray rolls out, looks left, sees his intended receiver, hits him right in stride, first down.
And the Spirit Squad, they are in mid-season form.
Well, that's because their coach, Candy, is second to no coach here at Leuzinger High School.
That's true.
Yeah.
Coach Candy's got him kicking. And got a touchdown.
Right.
That was to Jalen Walker.
Wow.
So touchdown Lawndale, and it's 13-7. So a 40-yard pass right off the bat might have caught Leuzinger off guard with that long pass down the far sideline.
Well, Leuzinger weren't the only ones caught off guard on that one.
Caught everybody off guard,
Right.
I think. So Anderson Racinios will come on to tack on the extra point. High snap, nice grab by Murray, and a good kick. No good. It was wide to the left, so it's 13-7. How many times have we seen that happen? The PAT's no good and comes back to bite you. So let's hope that that doesn't happen.
13-7 in favor of Lawndale. Boy, they have struck for a couple of, they have been a big play offense thus far tonight, Lou.
So Murray to Walker, 40 yards. $11:52. So that took about 2 minutes worth. And let's go down to McCall.
Things were pretty tight in the first quarter, but as Coach Matthiasen said from Lawndale, his starting quarterback, Chris Murray, is the heart and soul of this team right now, being the most athletic. And as you can see, he just had a wonderful drive down the field, and he let his teammates know, we're going for the quick score, we're going for the fast strike. He aired it out nice into the end zone. Back to you, Lou.
All right, thanks, McCall. That was a 54-yard drive in 5 plays. So that punt played a little bit into it, the short punt, and then getting the Cardinal kick back.
Getting it back, and really, I think the pivotal play in that drive was going for it on 4th and 6. They pick up the first down, kept the drive alive.
That's right. We have a flag on the play up to the 35-yard line and finally banged out of bounds. And a good run back by Nathaniel Vaughn. So it's a hold. It's going to go back. So there's the first big penalty of the, or actually second big penalty of the night. The first one was the face mask penalty.
Right.
That gave the Cardinals a first down, and now look, Vaughn doing a really good job, also getting some nice blocking. That's going to take him all the way back to the 16-yard line.
So what was good field position gets negated by the penalty, but the Olympians get the ball here in the second quarter. Second quarter started inside the first 8 seconds. The Cardinals were on the board. Let's see if the Olympians can respond in kind.
So a 19-yard difference in that. Santos hands the ball off. Hole is plugged up immediately by the Cardinal defense as Galera trying to get things going. But Stephen Almada and Ramirez in there and on the tackle.
Second and 10, Olympians.
So no gain for Galera.
And the ball control offense that Leuzinger wants to play is good, and it's effective up to a point. And I'll talk about that in just a second.
Fake handoff and just over the middle, just out of the reach of the intended receiver, Luis Asensio. And just a little bit off the mark on the replay.
As you saw the replay here, you're right. Asensio hadn't broken quite to the spot where it was on that play. Edson Santos threw the ball to a spot where his receiver was supposed to be, but the receiver hadn't quite gotten there.
A little bit low and outside.
Now it's a 3rd and long for the Olympians. Boy, 3rd and 9. Another.
And what did we get? A time violation?
No.
Or somebody lined up offside, maybe?
Looks like it's going to go against the Olympians.
Yep. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Making it 3rd and 16. On the 15-yard line.
Wow.
So back to the 11-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 16. Santos on the run, has a man open and just missed Lionel Smith.
Yeah, just missed him. Those are the kind of connections you got to make, Lou. Those are game changers. It's a good-looking throw.
Just a little more air under that one, huh?
A little more air. Here's the problem. It's going to force the Olympians to kick from deep in their own territory. The return man for the Cardinals set up at the 10-yard line. That's Christian Coleman, number 10.
Ortiz, another short kick, went off of his toe or something there and just couldn't get it going. Gets inside of the
42-yard line.
Well, that's the 42-yard line they're going to call it, inside of Olympian territory where the score is 13-7 in favor of Lawndale.
And this is right about the same spot that their last score just came from.
2 yards away. So now Porter just has the one kicker and trusting Steven Ortiz with both the kicking and the punting, and that's 2 punts that have been subpar. Handoff, good spin move by Austin Manigo, and Austin gets inside the 35-yard line to the 34.
A nice gain of about 7 yards.
Manigo, another one of those veteran players in Coach Matheson's program. We've had the pleasure of watching him over the years and calling his name on a number of times.
So it'll be 2nd and 3. 3 wide receivers to the left. Murray's going to keep it. Murray inside the 30 to the 20, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals. No flags. And it's 19-7, Rufus.
And a little bit of sales has come out of this Leuzinger crowd. And on that play, I was just about to comment on the fact that the defense was taking a knee, which was a sign to me that they were tired. And boy,
normally you'd have Samsoni Lawaki wrap that tackle up. So they're going to try to get that extra point back with a full house backfield. Are they going to run to the right? Give it to B.J. Parkinson, and he's caught and no good. So with 9:49 left in the first half, the Cardinals take a 19-7 lead over Leuzinger.
Courtesy of their quarterback, Chris Murray.
Lawndale 19, Leuzinger 7.
How many did you mark on that run for Murray on that?
34. So the 2-point PAT no good. And a 3-yard, 42-yard drive. I'm sorry, 3-play.
Well, if you lose it, there's still lots of silver left to the lining of that cloud that's hanging over them right now as you look at them staring at a 19-7 deficit. And a part of that's the fact that, boy, we're still here in the first half, 9:49.
That's exactly right. So low kick, and it's picked up, but as soon as he caught it, it's down by Lionel Smith.
The Olympian ball, 1st and 10, the 20-yard line. 20-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10. You see Lionel caught it down and around his knees and got tripped up. With 9:47 left to go in the first half. But Leuzinger shot themselves in the foot with that big penalty, that holding penalty that stuck them back at their own 16-yard line, and then the bad punt didn't do them any favors.
That didn't do them any favors, and a couple of missed passes by Santos on receivers that were virtually open.
They were wide open. Santos now, oh boy, that one was batted away by Justin Augers. So watch the pass there, and looking for Lionel Smith.
From the Olympian 20-yard line.
when they're going for big hits, Lou, I think you got to start chopping this tree down in smaller chunks than what they're going for.
Well, the guys are open across the middle, and this one is complete on the wide receiver screen to Nathaniel Vaughn, getting good yardage. And that should be good enough for a first down.
Exactly, and that's one of those small chunks. That was just a pass out in the flat and catch and run. You know, basically it's nothing more than a long handoff, but it gets the receiver out in space, as they say, and gives them some room to work with.
So he must be listening to you.
Listen to me. I think it's more, I'm guessing right in terms of what they should be doing.
Santos fakes the handoff, sets up the wide receiver screen, a couple of blocks, but the Cardinals sniffed it out and were waiting for him. So that was to Lionel Smith. So a 1-yard gain.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10, Olympians.
So they basically run the same play twice as you see on the replay. The second time, not quite as successful, but what that does is that stretches the defense for.
So Galera's not the running back. He's 2nd down and a long 9. And Santos is going to take it himself and gets a first down to the 45-yard line.
And that's what a couple of completions will do for you. That's exactly what I said, just softening up the defense. I think now they've got them right where they want them on this drive, where they can do everything that they want to do. And now a timeout is being taken by the Lawndale Cardinals.
Timeout Lawndale.
So they're trying to get their defense in order, you think?
Well, I think so. I mean, right now this team is moving against them at will. So, you know, and we saw that unfolding. First thing was they were going for the long pass. Nothing happening there. You heard me say, well, hey, I think they need to shorten it up. They did that 2 consecutive plays. That stretched out the defense enough for a good running quarterback like Edson Santos to be able to find some gaps now in that defense that's got to play back for the pass, and he peeled off a long run.
And also maybe Coach Mathieson trying to slow down the momentum of the Olympians, where it's going to be 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line, 8:43 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Wide receiver screen again, and barely getting across the line of scrimmage is Nathaniel Vaughn.
And I can almost assure you're going to have a block in the back on this play, which is going to cost them big.
And you are correct, sir.
Block in the back by the Olympians.
So after the 1-yard gain,
it's a 10-yard penalty.
And penalties have hurt the Olympians throughout the night, so that's going to make it a 2nd and 20 now.
1st and 20.
Tell us what you see, Rufus.
All right, well, what I see is the end of the play where the guy caught the ball and went down. We didn't see the actual penalty.
So 2nd down and 20 yards to go. Santos rolling out now, pitches the ball, and I believe that went to Khalil Miller.
Khalil Miller tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's going to be a loss.
Oh, that's what they're setting it up as, a loss of 2 on the play. So now you've got a 2nd and 22, a good-looking drive. Again, an unfortunate penalty has set that back, and now the Olympians are looking at 3rd and 22.
8:05 left in the first half.
3rd and 20.
Maurice Garland split wide to the near side. Santos trying to get away from the rush and gets away from the linebackers and carries them for, well, a few yards. You've got about 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 4th down and long, 4th down at about 19.
Right. And the Cardinals showed blitz on that play, and they dropped back knowing that they had plenty of room to work with in terms of protecting against a big play. And, of course, they do, and they force the Olympians to punt yet again.
So B.J. Parkinson, no, check that. That's number 10. That's Kristen Coleman back to receive the punt, and it goes right into somebody's wallet.
Recovered by the Cardinals. First and 10.
And
Leuzinger, we have a problem.
Yep. And it's the same problem we've had for a while, and that's the kicking game.
So it makes it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's where it's lined up at the 37-yard line. They'll just switch it over to the Cardinals. So that kick just went straight into the line.
And now that puts a lot of pressure on this defense, Lou. It's already sucking wind a bit. They caught a bit of a break on that last possession. They got a little bit of wind back on.
Going for that same play. The man open downfield, but just out of his reach. And that was Jalen Walker. But Chris Murray just got a little too much underneath it. Khalil Miller on the coverage, along with Jamal Albawab. With 7:03 left in the first half.
Important for the Leuzinger effort tonight to hold on this set of downs.
Manigo with it. Manigo is going to take it all the way down inside the 20, almost down to the 15-yard line. And finally, riding him out of bounds was Saliasi Fakava. We might want to call him Junior from now on.
Looks like they're going to spot it right at about the 50. In fact, inside the 15, they back it up a little bit. So let's call it.
So we got the 13 and the
about
14.
The 13. That's what they'd call it.
So on the play, that's a 24-yard run. So Murray trying to put this game further out of reach as Manigo again tries to go around the edge but can't do it as he is hammered out of bounds. Andrew Harvey hit him out of bounds. So no gain on the play.
And again, this Leuzinger defense, boy, now their back's really against the wall as the ball is down at about the 11.
Yeah, they actually gave him a yard gain on that play, Rufus. Low snap, but it's taken, handoff to Coleman.
Handoff to number 10, that's Christian Coleman.
And Coleman gets down inside the 10.
Runs for about 3 yards, is brought down by Jalen.
And this will be I believe, 4-down territory for the Cardinal as well. So losing the defense, low snap, but you see it picked up.
So 4-yard gain by Coleman, and it's going to be 3rd down and a long 5, almost 6. Murray, lots of time. Look out.
There you go. And that's the play that they needed. That probably took them at this level out of field goal range. We'll see, which means they've got to go for it on 4th down. So the Leuzinger defense with a chance here to keep themselves in the game. And wow, you got to give a lot of credit on that play to Angelo Smith, who made the big defensive play.
So a timeout on the field with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. So you had the good defense by Leuzinger, especially in the secondary. And we'll get to Sebastian Spencer after this play. Actually, it's still a timeout, so let's go down to Sebastian.
What's going on, Rufus and Lou? You know, Coach Damian Porter is getting his first little bit of A-League action here and really getting to see what this crosstown rivalry is like against the Lawndale Cardinals. But he hasn't went up against a quarterback like Chris Murray, who's slicing and shredding that defense right now. Hope the team doesn't hear me. I'm right behind him right now. But we'll see if they can contain him in the second quarter. Back to you guys.
Murray back to pass, looking for that corner, has that man open, caught inside the end zone, touchdown. That was Jalen Walker again, Rufus, hooked up for a 9-yard pass, and that was as pretty as they come.
And that's part of it was a mismatch, but the defender never looked back to see the ball coming. Of course, he was playing him near, and getting beat on the play was number 2 for the Olympians. That's Markel Allen.
That's at the 5:14 mark, so almost 2 minutes. Well, at 1:55 on the drive. They're still trying to go for 2 as Manigo gets into the end zone for 2 points. So it's 27-7 in favor of the Cardinals after the 9-yard touchdown pass from Murray to Walker. That's their second hookup of the night.
Murray to Walker to the scoreboard. As you can see on your screen, fans, 27-7. And let's look at that last pass, that last touchdown pass from another angle here on CityTV. These guys, I mean, it's just a good-looking play that, as you say, the second time they've run it tonight. I think a tough assignment for the Leuzinger defender, size-wise. I don't think skill-wise, but size-wise, tough assignment.
Ready to kick the ball off his injured offensive lineman, Anderson Recinos, but he's well enough to kick. And it's taken at the 20-yard line. Vaughn gets up to about the 33, 34-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 Leuzinger. And right now, Rufus is where the Olympians can't lose their heart. They're still in this thing, really. They've made their own mistakes.
Absolutely. One of the things they got to do, and this is what I was going to say, alluded to earlier, Lou, and that is when you run a ball control offense with the running game, the problem that it creates for you is that it makes it very difficult to come back. This is where you've got to have some quick scores now.
Santos looks to the right, to the left, I should say. The ball is caught, fumbled, and recovered by the Cardinals. Picked up by Brandon Ephraim after the ball was caught by Angelo Smith.
Now, this is really good. As we see on the replay, we see the reception made. That's what the officials are looking at. And boy, getting his helmet in there on the football was number 15 for the Cardinal. Darius Flowers forces that turnover.
So an 8-yard gain turns into an interception. Or actually a fumble, excuse me. Murray hands it off to Manigo, and he gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
55, Joseph Maeta, tackle for Leuzinger.
Boy, with the way this Cardinal team is looking right now, it's hard to believe that a couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, that they lost to Crespi, which, by the way, is Coach Porter's old school, where he was the offensive coordinator there for 3 years. They lost to Crespi 49-0. And here tonight, boy, they're putting a licking on the Olympians.
That's right. Manigo couldn't get away. Now we're going to get a block in the back. This one's going to come back after a nice defensive play by Samsoni Lauakai. It'll be a holding call against the Cardinals. Actually, that was an inadvertent tackle. Watch the play.
And actually, you saw it there right as that one, right before he reversed course.
Stephen Almada accidentally fell down on top of Lawaki.
Should remain second down.
So now, instead of 1st and 10, it is 2nd and 20. Or 2nd and 19, I should say.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. And it's a good opportunity, one for the Olympian defense. You know, the fact that it's a long distance gives them just a bit of breathing room.
Murray throws on the run, and it's incomplete. Good defense, giving him pressure is J.J. Layava.
Nathaniel Vaughn in on the coverage for Leuzinger.
And we've still got nearly 4 minutes left here in the first half, and this is going to be a third and the same thing. Third and scoreboard wants to call it 20.
No, we're calling it 19 officially, but
all right.
Well, actually now they put the ball at the 49.
Right.
It was at the 50, the last play. If I was Coach Mathieson, I'd say, hey, what's going on here? Because that ball, if I recall, was right on the 50-yard line.
Well, it certainly was that, and I can't recall, but you're right. I don't think it was in the position that you're right where it was spotted at.
We got an official's timeout, just trying to keep their books straight.
Well, and I think they may be trying to decide the same thing. Now, I don't think the players understand that you can't run a play if the officials are having a conference.
No, the Cardinals said, you just want to play.
and exactly.
You know, with the 20-point lead, they just want to keep going. 3:40 left to go in the second.
3:40 left. Third and long, Cardinals.
Murray looks to the left, fires to the left, and it was behind his intended receiver.
But the
Kayam
Leuzinger
Cooksey.
defense, here's what the Leuzinger defense did, Lou. They decided, they were told keep everything in front of you, okay? And that's what the defenders did. You can see back in the coverage, they were more than ready for the play, and they forced a punting situation. So an excellent hold by the Olympian defense.
With a little help from a holding call. Murray punts it, and just getting out of the way. And the Lawndale bounce goes to about the 11-yard line. So it'll be a long field. It'll be 89 yards to the end zone for Leuzinger, and 3:19 left to go in the first half.
The 11-yard line where Leuzinger takes over, 1st and 10.
Well, that's the key. They've got plenty of time here left in the first half, but they definitely will want to make something out of this drive.
So the ball is placed, we'll call it the 11. Yep, we'll call it the 11. So a nice punt by Murray. 3:19 left to go in the first half. And Edwin Santos trying to get things going after he had a man gets free. Santos completes the pass to Luis Asensio.
Luis Asensio. That's a nice run for
And
first down.
we're going to call that a 21-yard gain.
And that gets them from out of the shadows of their own goal line.
First and 10 Olympians.
So clock running at 3:08 left to go in the first half. Fakes the handoff, has plenty of time. Santos is going to take it and try to get out of bounds to stop the clock. Did he get out of bounds?
Well, I think he did. Of course, a bit of indecision. He couldn't decide whether to turn it up or turn it out. Okay, and
The clock's still rolling.
when he gets here,
So they're only going to give him 2 yards on the play, Rufus.
and they're going to say he didn't get out of bounds.
Right.
So nothing on that possession went right, went quite as the Olympians would have hoped. Let's put it that way.
So it's 2nd down and 8 at their own 34-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of Edwin Santos, 1 running back with him. An offside call is going to be made, so it's going to nullify Nathaniel Vaughn's first down catch.
Yep. But we'll stop the clock.
And that's too bad. That was a nice play.
Illegal procedure.
So there was some sort of motion. One of the receivers did a false start and tried to get back into his stance. So Damian Porter wants to know exactly what it was, talking to the official. But there's the catch, nicely done, as Lawndale are giving a little pad for the.
And that official he was talking to was Herb Thompson, the line judge, who was actually the one who made the call.
A minute 35 left to go. The pass is going to be short. Intended for Lionel Smith.
Brandon Ephraim in on the play for the Cardinals.
The receiver was turned all around on that play. Looked left, looked right, back to the left. Still couldn't catch up to it.
So it's 3rd down and 13. Santos checking all of his receivers, finally throws it downfield, and the receiver gets tripped.
There are flags on the play.
And the intended receiver was Asensio.
And it's going to be against the Cardinal. And that's one of those places almost like you see in basketball where the guy baited him into it, because what he did was he slowed up on the play and forced the defender to run up on him.
Yeah, see, Luis tripped. They might have tripped on each other.
Well, what we don't see right before that was actually as the play was unfolding, Asensio actually slowed up as if they were going to come back to the ball. The defender ran up his back, and boy, that gives them the automatic first down and takes the ball out to the 46-yard line.
So the defensive back was Andrew Ramirez, and it really looked like their feet just got tangled up. But Leuzinger gets the opportunity. Santos looking and doesn't want to go out of bounds.
No, but he should. I don't understand why he doesn't want to.
Clock's still rolling with
exactly
down to a minute 10.
You know, if there's nothing there, you got to go out of bounds.
First charge timeout.
So it'll be a no gain on the run by Santos. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And a timeout's burned and about another 10 seconds rolled off the clock.
And that's one of those things where you got to say for a guy with Santos's experience that you expect him not to make that play. Again, got to say I'm not sure what the strategy is with regard to not going out of bounds, especially when you're at the sideline.
Exactly. Step out of bounds and play another day, play another play. Coach Matheson has to be a little comfortable with a 20-point cushion. A minute 9 from halftime. Leuzinger sporting a new logo on their helmets and also new uniforms this year.
And both look real good. That means one of the things Coach Porter said is he's happy to see there the logo.
Yeah, it's kind of a hot rod. And whistles abound. So no play.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's going to be second down and 15.
So somebody moved.
Right, and normally, in fact, usually with only the exception of a neutral zone infraction by the defense, when they kill a play before it starts, it's almost always against the offense.
So it'll be third down and 15. Santos throwing it to the near sideline, and Vaughn had to play defensive back to keep it away from Christian Coleman, who actually had a better shot at it.
Exactly. Good job by Vaughn in terms of doing it. Exactly right. He understood what was going on, didn't give up on the play.
So it's fourth down, Rufus. Do you
Well, I think
go
you're
for
actually
it?
down ahead of them because on the procedure penalty, you
That's right,
replayed
you're
it
right.
down.
So it's third down and 15.
And still a minute 2 left. Lots of football time for the Olympians. But boy, they certainly need to convert here.
And the ball is caught. Was it caught? Incomplete. So Coleman made a good play on Angelo Smith. He was just kind of waiting in the weeds for Smith to catch that one. So now it's fourth down and 15 with 55 seconds left in the first half.
And the ever eventful Leuzinger kicking game.
So let's see if Steven Ortiz can do what I need to do with my drive off the tee and get it up in the air. He gets it up in the air. See if this one takes a Leuzinger bounce, and it goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 for the Cardinals. They have plenty of time, 47 seconds left. But Leuzinger, I tell you what, Rufus, they've had the ball a couple of times for a long time and nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it, but at least here's what they've done. The couple of times they had it and possessed it for a while was they gave their defense an opportunity to rest. And again, even though our score right now is 27-7, these Olympians, I think, are still in it. Boy, a score right here on that last drive would have really been nice. So now the key is to make sure, and they do on that first down, they hold. They're looking for a little spark to take into the locker room, all right, that they can build on to come back out in the second half and get back in this ball game.
J.J. Liava doing a great job on that one, Rufus, as he sacks, actually throws Manigo for a 2-yard loss.
Now, if that spark goes the other way and they get burnt here, then I think it might be good night, Irene. But
good move by Murray, but still can't get away from the Leuzinger defense, and Samsoni Lauaki.
Man, you are good.
Lauaki.
Okay.
Just like the move there.
Evades the first guy, but that guy slows him up just enough. And of course, when you go, he was down by contact after that.
And that's going to do it. So Chris Murray just running out the clock. And that's going to do it for the first half. So Lawndale actually doing a good job on capitalizing on Leuzinger mistakes. And it's 27-7. And let's go down to the field. McCall Hall has the Cardinals coach, Mathieson.
With a score of 27-7, Lawndale is up. Coach, what did you tell the quarterback Chris Murray in the first half? It seems like he just woke up. He came alive.
You know what? He's been eager to do that the first 2 games. We've had a rough start. Been having to find the right combo at the O-line. And I told those boys all week, if they get a chance to get past that first level, there's going to be some yards to gain. So they knew that coming in. They're seeing the holes, they're hitting them hard, and they're finding that open space.
And they found that open space, but how do we continue to find that open space in the second half? How do we ride this momentum?
Just got to keep up the tenacity. The boys are fighting hard right now. They're going after their blocks, and you know, we're catching some luck. They're making mistakes, but you know, chance favors they're prepared. We're ready for them. If they make a mistake, we're going to take advantage of it.
All right, sounds good, Coach. Good luck in second half.
You.
Thank you, guys. Back to you, Rufus.
Not quite the game the Olympians wanted, but by the same token, they 27-7, but I think they're still in it.
No, I think so too. Like I said, there was a couple of drives there when they had opportunities and penalties or something happened and long drives were turned into turning the ball over via the punts. And a couple of there was a fumble also in there as well.
Penalties and turnovers, the two things that'll kill you every time.
That's right. Well, looks like we're going to take a timeout, and we will be back with the third quarter right after this on City TV.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Just before the start of the third quarter, the Leuzinger Olympians are trailing the Lawndale Cardinals at Lou House at Olympian Field 27-7. And it has been pretty much all Cardinals, except for Leuzinger, just actually shooting themselves in the foot all game long.
They had that good opening drive, but everything after that just did not go their way. Penalties and turnovers put them in a bad position. Their defense did stiffen a little bit there at the end, which was good for them.
So Lawndale will kick the ball off to Leuzinger. So they'll be going left to right. And Chris Murray having an outstanding first half, also being helped out by Austin Manigo doing some good running. So the opening drive was Lawndale. That was a 26-yard touchdown. Just trying to get my record straight here. A 34-yard touchdown play to make it 7-0. And then Leuzinger made it 7-7 on a 26-yard pass from Santos to Smith. The 74-yard touchdown run for the Cardinals was by B.J. Parkinson. And then after a punt by Leuzinger towards the end of the first quarter and into the second quarter, Murray threw a 40-yard touchdown pass to Walker. That was 5 plays and 54 yards to make it 13-0. The PAT was no good. Then Murray ran 34 yards after a punt again after Leuzinger was pinned way back in their own territory. And then it was 19-7 after the 2-point conversion was no good. Then the punts into the offensive line by Leuzinger gave Lawndale a short field, and they made short play of it as Murray with a 9-yard pass to Walker for their second hookup to make it 27-7. Leuzinger was starting to move the ball towards the end of the half, and it was all over by then with the fumble. So now we got the third quarter coming up.
Third quarter coming up, and the good spot to that is that Leuzinger will be receiving the kickoff. A small observation again at the beginning of the game when Lawndale elected to defer, not to defer, but to accept the kickoff because they won the toss.
So just about ready to get things underway. And it was a nice moment at halftime, Rufus, when Leuzinger's football team right below us here the undefeated football team from a few years back, was honored and got a nice round of applause as they were introduced individually.
I don't even think I was living when that happened.
Kickoff from Briseños is a short one. So it's picked up and taken to about the 35-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Leuzinger. So good field position for Leuzinger to start things off after the run back by Khalil Miller. Santos will bring him out. Two wide receivers to either side. The Cardinals adjusting their 4-3 defense. Handoff straight up the middle and a couple of yards.
Very short game.
Galera with the run. That's the first time we've seen him carry the ball in quite a while.
And they start the second half the same way they started the game, which they did have some success with that on their first drive. We'll see how much they stay with the ground game here in the third, at least at the start of the third quarter.
So Leuzinger taking their time, coming in and out of the huddle. Split to the near side is Nathaniel Vaughn. Santos going to keep it himself, slips in that muddy spot, and maybe gets a yard.
Well, now when did it rain this week?
Now it was in full-on rotisserie mode.
Okay.
For the past couple of weeks.
Okay, so
convection oven.
Well, that means they spent a lot of money on sprinkling this field in.
Yeah, because it is a little muddy out there. We noticed that before the game walking out there. So it'll be 3rd down, and we're going to call it 8 yards to go. And Santos fumbles it and is zipped. We'll see where they give him forward progress to.
Well, there won't be any forward progress. The question is how much backward progress do they give to him. Fortunate just to hold on to the ball.
That's exactly right. Torres in on the tackle. So it's a loss of, I'm going to call it 11 yards. Or 12 yards. Back to the 26. So here comes Ortiz on to kick. Let's hope it's not an adventure.
4th and 18, and they're hustling to get an extra man out on the field.
And Coleman back to receive the ball is camped out at his own 33-yard line.
That's
Ortiz.
His best kick of the night. Unfortunately, it's directly to the return man. And good open field tackle made that time by number 1, Lionel Smith.
So Lionel's been doing a little bit of everything tonight for Coach Porter.
Well, that was definitely a big play that he made there.
So a 5-yard return by Coleman. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Murray and the Cardinals. B.J. Parkinson in the backfield with him, gets the handoff up the middle and goes forward for a couple of yards. Lawaki with the tackle. And been seeing a lot of t-shirts with the Lawaki name on it with a bunch of numbers going down. We're going to have to find out what that's all about.
2nd and 8 for the Cardinals.
And what I'm liking right now, Lou, is that this Leuzinger team is still showing a lot of fight. This defense.
Well, Parkinson doing a good job. Also Leuzinger doing a good job there to keep him close. Is Vaughn. with the tackle with some help from Joseph Nayata. Just missed getting a first down, or did they give it to him?
Well,
Yep,
looks
they
like
gave
they're
it to
gonna-
him. To the 48-yard line, so a 10-yard run by BJ. So 1st and 10, 8:20 left in the third quarter, and a good defensive play by Leuzinger.
Excellent defensive play by the Leuzinger down lineman who sniffed that play out right from the very beginning.
Lawaki getting in there. Let's see the replay, Rufus. Lawaki just fighting off the offensive lineman. So a loss on the play. A loss on the play of about 8 yards.
Second, about 20 yards to go for the Cardinals.
Second, and we're going to call it about 18. Murray has a man wide open. That's B.J. Parkinson in and out of the hands.
And a huge break for the Olympians.
All right, so we hear that McCall has a, okay, there's the replay. We'll see how wide open B.J. is.
Third down, 20 yards to go for the Cardinals.
Wow.
And
Hit
now
it right in the numbers.
That's it. Let's go down to McCall.
Lou, Rufus, I have a quick injury update. One of the top wide receivers for Leuzinger is actually out of the game now. He's being attended to by trainers. His name is Isaiah Gonzalez. He's having some stiffness in his knee, a little discomfort. So they're keeping a very close eye on him. Not sure if he'll make it back onto the field tonight, but there is a chance. However, that's another hit to the Leuzinger offense tonight. Wide receiver is Isaiah Gonzalez is out. Back to you guys.
All right, McCall, that's bad news for Leuzinger, but Parkinson, ouch. Parkinson caught the ball out of bounds.
Big break for the Olympians, and that's going to bring up a 4th down now, if I'm not mistaken, for the Cardinals.
4th and 18. There you see the ball again. And got to wonder if the momentum carried him out of bounds or if the hit carried him out of bounds.
Well, I think it was the momentum that actually, because he actually caught the ball out of bounds on the play.
Nathaniel Vaughn back at his own 20-yard line, getting ready to accept the Murray kick. End over end on the run, and almost got a great return out of that one, but good enough. But a good tackle on the play by Dewan Ballard. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Leuzinger at their own 31-yard line. So second possession for Leuzinger at about the same point where they had it the first possession. And let's see if they can get anything going. Santos hands the ball off.
Hand off to Khalil Miller.
And that was to Miller. And a lot of activity going on there.
A lot of activity, but not many yards picked up. Got about 2 on the play.
Good tackle there, Rufus, by Danny Hernandez. So a 2-yard gain. He's 2nd down and 8 from the 33-yard line.
Wow.
Santo, oh boy. That was almost intercepted by Coleman. Pass was intended to Angelo Smith.
And he was sitting on that play all the way, Lou. Had his eyes directly on the quarterback, saw the release, and had a better opportunity to make the play than did Angelo Smith.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 8. So Leuzinger now just trying to figure out how to move the ball. Santos over the middle,
Oh.
and that should have been caught by Angelo Smith. That would have been an easy first down at the 45-yard line.
Well, he had the first down and then some. Let's watch the throw. Wow, just didn't
Right
bring
in his
it in.
hands. So Ortiz will punt the ball back to the Cardinals, and Kristen Coleman getting set up between his own 35 and 30-yard line. Ortiz, nice high kick. Coleman has to let it bounce, and Leuzinger is going to let it die at about the 31-yard line. So a decent punt by Ortiz, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Lawndale with 6:13 left to go in the third quarter, as you see Lionel Smith.
So Ortiz seems to have gotten his footing a little bit. No pun intended, of course.
Of course not. Not from you.
So once again, the Leuzinger defense, wow, this quarter's half over already. It's moving a little bit quicker than the first half did.
The snap was rolled to Murray. Manigo makes something out of it, gets a couple out of it, but the Leuzinger defense is doing good enough again. Lawaki with the tackle, but one of the Olympians comes limping off the field. That's J.J. Liava.
2nd down, 10 yards to go.
They're going to give a no gain. No, that was a 2-yard gain.
Yep.
For Manigo and the Cardinals. Austin to the right of Chris Murray. Quick handoff again, and quick hit by the Olympians. So doing a good job is number 9. That was Fakava, I should say, and also Lawaki.
Defense doing their share. And one might look at the scoreboard and they go, well, how can you say the defense is doing their part? Defense has more seriously than done their part given the circumstances, and they've actually, the last couple of drives, stopped this Lawndale offense, which at one point was scoring at will.
Big 3rd down play for the Leuzinger defense. 4-man front. Murray, flush from the pocket. Good defense by the secondary. Look out, Murray's got some good legs, good running room, and I do believe that he got a 9-yard gain out of that one and a first down, Rufus.
Yeah.
Murray scramblers loose.
He did pick up the first down on the play.
Really close to the marker, waiting for the referee's
But boy, the defensive secondary held him, and those big down linemen, that's just a bit of a challenge for them to pursue all over the field a guy with the speed of Chris Murray.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Murray hands it off, moving the pile forward for about a 5-yard gain. Now some tempers are starting to flare, and there's a flag. I believe that was Kristen Coleman with the run.
Yeah, well, let's see who the flag is against, though, because, boy, that's going to be big. Okay, well.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Cardinals. That's going to bring that back another 15 yards.
So this is going to go all the way back. That's a big one, 15-yarder.
Yep.
All the way back to the 30.
We're going to repeat first down. It's going to be 1st and long.
So it's going to be 1st and 26 yards. 4:22 Was that repeat second down?
Well, now
Should be
now
a
we're all
repeat.
screwed up.
It should
Now-
be first down again, right?
Well, now they got third down up there.
Handoff number 21.
And that was B.J. Parkinson, and the gain is up to the 30-yard line.
Third, about 25 to
Or
go.
was that? That was no gain. No gain. Pardon me.
No gain, and the down stayed the same. Still third down.
Is it third down or second down?
Board has third, and I think that the official on that side has made sure that it's correct. So it's going to be third and a whole lot.
Third and at least 23 yards. That's right, a whole lot. Using new math. Murray doesn't have a man open, but wide open was Markel Allen. And he's pounding the turf because he knows he should have had that one. I think he had visions of sugar plums dancing in his head.
Should have, but you got to do first things first.
So the punting unit comes out for the Cardinals. Let's watch this replay, Rufus. Ball's coming right in your living room. Oh. Looks like Allen took the ball off and was looking at Brandon Ephraim.
High snap, get away. Okay, you got to turn around.
Now you got to get him. Murray's going to have a first down and gets out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Now we got a late flag hit out of bounds. That's going to add another 15 yards to the play. So all of a sudden, a play that was 4th and 23 becomes a first down. And looks like they're going to add some to it.
Illegal block by the Cardinals, so it's going to go back the other way.
Wow, I stand corrected.
Yeah, I did. Murray looked like he just stepped out of bounds. I don't see that illegal block there. Not there either. But see, he just prances out of bounds.
Well, which was the right thing to do. I mean, he saw a bunch of blue coming
down.
right at him.
Yep.
All right. I mean, you know, he pranced out of bounds so he could live to prance another day. Okay.
So it's a 26-yard run and a first down for Murray.
I believe that's a replay of fourth down. I'm waiting for the referee's official call.
Now, well, this is going to be interesting. They got to confer. If he picked up.
If it was an illegal block on the
that's
play,
right.
then it's
the
still,
illegal
then it's
block
still first
will be
down.
from the spot. No, that's going to. First of all, it's going to be from the spot where it occurred. All right. And if that was short of the first down, then it'll go. Then they'll move it from that spot.
But it's still first down, though, right?
No, it'll be fourth down. Well, now it's confusing because he never picked up the first because the illegal block occurred. Well,
They're going
okay.
to give him the first down. Okay.
Okay.
That's all we can say.
That's.
Tacos to the announcer booth, please. Tacos to the announcer booth.
So hand off to Manigo, and that gets up to. Are they going to give him back to the line of scrimmage?
They're going to give him the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Okay.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
I thought it was a yard loss, but that's why I'm up here. Wait a minute, did Coach Parvaz just do a takeout order up here from the PA booth? He sure did. So look at this. It's good to be Coach Parvaz because they're getting tacos up here in the booth.
They lived a good life, man.
I guess so. Don't put that in front of me. How can I have it? Unless you want to announce the game, Coach. Oh, he's going to trade me. And now Coleman on the option play gets a first down and then some. About a 15-yard gain inside of Leuzinger territory to the 40-yard line.
They will break loose, get another first down for the Cardinals.
That's just cruel and unusual punishment by the basketball coaching staff up here.
It certainly is, but our turn will come. But it looks good and it smells good.
So a nice run by Coleman. We'll call it a 17-yard run and a first down. Down to the 38-yard line of Leuzinger. Coleman. Actually, Murray hands the ball off straight up the middle. And that's Parkinson.
So these Lawndale Cardinals who will be playing in the Ocean League along with Hawthorne, that's going to make it pretty interesting. They're moving over from the Pioneer League. Leuzinger's going to the Pioneer League, and all of that means we get left out of, and the local fans, after many years of being in the Bay League,
right,
are left completely out of the Bay League.
And that was always fun to cover all three of those leagues.
Yeah.
Manigo trying to turn the corner to the far sideline, did get some positive yardage. Down to about the 30-yard line. Maybe inside the 30-yard line to the 29, so a 5-yard gain. Like I said, I don't know how Coach Parvaz can do PA announcing with his mouth full of tacos.
He's a man of many talents.
I guess so. I'm going to tell his mother that he's talking with his mouth full. He just said, don't tell my mom. Up the middle.
Inside handoff.
And that's Parkinson again, and that's going to be close to a first down. With 22 seconds and clock running. And is that going to be fourth down, Rufus?
That would appear to be the indication.
A 1-yard gain, we're going to call that.
Short, about a yard gain on that. It's going to be fourth and short for the Cardinals.
And they're going to let the clock run out, and we're going to go to the fourth quarter with a scoreless third quarter, and the Cardinals on a big drive.
On a big drive, it's going to be fourth and short. Well, a scoreless, as you said, scoreless third quarter.
And this will be the 12th play of the drive. And I tell you what, I got two carnitas tacos staring right in my face here. What are we going to do about that?
Well,
nothing we can do.
We could go back to our old life when we used to take kids' food from them. You know.
That's right. You going to eat that?
No, you don't want that, do you?
No, not at all.
And the kid would say, no, I don't want it. You know, you can have it. Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
I tell you, that's just cruel and unusual. But I've got to tell you that Leuzinger Olympians now, they got a nice spread out here. Not back in the parking lot where no one can see it, but right out here.
Right.
Got homemade cookies. You and I enjoyed some homemade peanut butter cookies. And there we are right here. Look at this one right here. Eating tacos. There's Ollie Pervaz right there. See him? He's eating tacos. Everyone's eating tacos. Is Eric Childress eating tacos? Now a UCSB gaucho? Oh, he already ate them. Now the fourth quarter has started, and Chris Murray's getting eaten up by the Leuzinger Olympian defense.
Wow.
And did he fall forward
well,
far enough
it's
for the
going to
first
be interesting
down?
to see. This will be a very, I'm not sure they're going to spot it right there.
It was 4th and 2, a short 2.
Wow. Okay.
Just by that much.
Man, let's watch the replay here, because this was real close. He doesn't have it there. He's wrapped up
There's knee
there.
touched.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
knee
you got to
touched
give him.
short, I think. Good play by Michael Carrera.
But it's where
try
the
to
ball was when the knee touched, and the arm was extended.
So it was a 2-yard gain and a first down. And Manigo gets stopped
by Loaki. Samsoni Loaki.
That's right. Let's go down to McCall.
All right, you guys, just a couple of updates as we get underway in the fourth quarter. It's not over, and Coach Mathiasen of Lawndale wants to make sure his team is taking advantage of every moment and learning on every play. He's let his defense know, hey, if Leuzinger happens to miss a pass, drop a pass, that's ours to capitalize on. Get those interceptions, make those plays. Don't give up just because they gave up. Make sure you guys look out for that in the fourth quarter and going forward. Back to you guys.
Thanks, McCall. Leuzinger just has to execute.
Exactly.
They've been, the Cardinal defense has been standing up the Leuzinger offense.
So again, the Leuzinger defense has them in a 3rd and long situation.
From the 32-yard line after a couple of losses on the play. And Murray gets a first down pass. Is that to Walker on the far side? That's Walker.
Well,
so that was a 17-yard pass and completion.
One of the things they'll be working on in practice will certainly be in the defensive backfield for the secondary, I should say, for the Olympians.
Inside the 15-yard line, we'll call it the 14. Where it's 1st and 10. Might even be the 13. Murray, ooh, terrific play on defense. And B.J. Parkinson goes backwards. Is that Jeremiah or Angelo Smith or Fakava?
That was Fakava. Now, one of the things that bears mentioning, Lou, is that when Coach Porter took over the program in the spring, there were only 18 guys in the football program. Right? Not how you go, well, they got 18 returning starters and all that stuff. They only had 18 players, period.
And Murray, meanwhile, goes into the touchdown, weaving his way in and out of the Olympian defense, and it's 33-7 in favor of the Cardinals with 8:57 left to go in the fourth quarter.
An 11-yard run by Murray. And that one may have officially put this one out of reach.
I would tend to agree with you. Brasinhos back to tack on the extra point. And does.
Yeah.
So it's 34-7 in favor of the Cardinals with 8:56 left to go in the fourth quarter.
And to add insult to injury, Leuzinger picks up a personal foul on the play, roughing the kicker. So that's going to be assessed on the kickoff. So instead of kicking from the 40 of their own 40, if my math is correct, they're going to kick from the Leuzinger 45-yard line.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Well, we'll see so far. Nothing's been.
He's getting ready to mark it off. As I said, that's where they'll spot the ball, is at the Leuzinger 45-yard line. So this Olympian team tonight, Lou, has shown flashes, and this Cardinal team, I mean, has just really been flying high. And boy, it makes last week's game a head scratcher, but whatever went wrong, Coach got his guys back down here to Lawndale, got them out on the practice field, and they straightened it out.
Well, there's one big reason why, a lot of injuries to touchback on that one, into the end zone. Vaughn caught it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians at their own 20-yard line. One reason is the Cardinals had 3 big injuries in that game to linemen and receivers. Second reason is Crespi is loaded with D1 prospects. So that spells trouble for a team that's in a constant stage of flux. So when you look back at the opening game of the season, when they lost by, was it 7 points to South, 20-13, you knew that this team wasn't that bad. 49-0 bad. Santos now trying to get something on the board, and it's whacked from behind.
Edson Santos sacked in the backfield.
Looking upfield for the play to unfold in front of him. The defender comes from behind and brings him down.
It's Anthony Gray with the sack, number 8. So a loss on the play of 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Now, it'll take a while for Coach Porter to get this team the way he wants, because remember, you were talking about the Crespi team. Well, those guys that put that 49-0 licking on Lawndale were a lot of his players. As I said, he was the OC there for the past 3 years. He knows something about the offensive side of the ball, and over time, he's expecting to get this team going in the right direction.
Now the Cardinal defense is flying to the ball. Luis Asensio with the catch, but that turns into a no gainer. So it's 3rd down and 12.
Good open field tackle by
you
the
were
Cardinal defender.
You were talking about Coach Porter's on-campus recruiting.
Well, the point was, and you're right, with 18 players, and now they have 80 players in the program. So he increased it by 5-fold.
Right.
Nearly. They've got a lower level team, because for years, Leuzinger didn't even have a lower level team. You know, they barely fielded 25, 30 guys for varsity.
Right.
You know, no freshman team, no JV team. And this is how you get good over time, because you have guys coming up in the program. There
Santos over the middle, but he can't catch Knight.
Wow.
Smith, Lionel Smith. He was wide open, too. So it'll be 4th down and 9.5. And Ortiz comes on to punt the ball back to the Cardinals with 7:08 left to go in the 4th quarter. And Coach Porter was telling McCall and me before the game, Rufus, that, well, I asked him, I said, how did you do it? He just said, I just went up to guys and said, you want to play football? And they all came out.
Yep. And
so they obviously know who he is, because, like I said, he got 62 guys.
Exactly.
Ball is picked up by Coleman, straightened up at the 47, and driven back by Leuzinger. So they're not wallflowers out there, Rufus.
No.
They're hitting hard. Angelo Smith with the big hit.
They're hitting hard, and let me tell you how much of a visionary Coach Porter is. They are allowing the local Pop Warner or Junior All-American, whichever operation it is, but that team to play out here on this field, which means that you're starting to really reach and build for the future. You're getting guys accustomed to being here. You're getting them wanting to be a part of the program. I mean, they come here and play, and they start to think, one day I'd like to play in high school on this same field.
Murray picks up the short snap, but Manigo put it into 4th gear in a hurry and gets to the 40-yard line in Leuzinger territory and gets a 1st down.
Olympians right now playing for pride, if nothing else, because this is going to be the 3rd consecutive year that little old Lawndale has taken it to them. I mean, it's a very surprising reversal of fortune between two storied programs.
Yeah, you're right. Hand it off to Manigo again. Spins out of a tackle, but can't get away from the linebackers. And Manigo with about a 2-yard gain. But a nice defensive play by Jalen Willingham.
Territory on the 37-yard line.
Also, Angelo Smith and Andrew Harvey. As a matter of fact, Harvey gave Smith a little shot unintentionally. So under 6 minutes left to go in this one. We still have to come up with a name for this game, Rufus.
Right.
Ball handed off again. And Murray gets up to about the 34-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
Well, you better come up with that name quick, because Leuzinger may not want to play this game anymore. Yeah.
So one name has
been. You may be seeing the first and last of it.
Right. So one name that's been bandied about is the Hoffman Cup.
And, you know, I think that's
or the Hoffman Bowl.
A worthy tribute to one of the big Leuzinger.
Man was wide open there, Rufus. Or open, not wide open. That was Walker again.
And whether you call it the Hoffman Cup or the Hoffman Bowl, and you're right, I think bowl is more appropriate. I'm not sure what football game I've ever heard talked about as a cup, but that's
hockey.
Right. But the point is, it serves to pay tribute to Harold Hoffman, who passed a year ago, longtime mayor of Lawndale, but more importantly, a big-time supporter of high school sports in the area, particularly Leuzinger. Make no doubt about it, that was his favorite school, so he supported Leuzinger, but you had that, and he supported all 3 local schools, and certainly supported the efforts of Lawndale Cable Television in bringing these games to this community.
Angelo Smith doing a good job on defense. Shoestring tackle on B.J. Parkinson keeps him from getting a first down. And Mayor Hoffman was, not only did he come to the Mayor's Cup games, but he would come to, you'd see him here probably every Friday night. So Leuzinger takes over on downs on that one, Rufus. But with 4 minutes and 41 seconds left to go, that's a big hill to climb.
That's a huge hill to climb if you're trailing 34-7, as they are. They scored on their first drive of the game and have been shut out since.
But they have had their opportunities. So from the 30-yard line, and they're going to have to hustle if they're battling against a 25-second clock. You can see the back judge looking at the stopwatch right now. Ball is handed off to Galera, and Adrian was doing so well in the first quarter, Rufus, and then was never really heard from again after that.
You read my mind, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Was that where's this guy been the whole game? You know, they tried to go through the air, made some adjustments again. What they saw, that was the other thing they went away from, was that the short passes were working in their favor much more so than the long pass.
Bad snap. Santos getting out of trouble, but gets spun around and thrown down like a rag doll.
Nice open field tackle made by number 5.
Is that
Isaiah
Torres? Isaiah Torres. Sawi Leao, Isaiah Torres, listed at 6 feet 190. He came in like a thoroughbred.
Right.
39.
So no gain on the play. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Santos. And the man back with him, and the tight end moved, or actually the left tackle moved.
Well, that was one of those, and what if you got a replay? I think that was one where the defense almost simulated, well, okay.
Yeah,
I thought I saw a movement on the other side of the line, but good call by the officials.
Louis and Giano. Looks like everybody moved that time. It's Santos trying to get around and get some positive yardage on 3rd down to the 32-yard line.
Fourth down, 9 yards to go for the Olympians.
So positive yardage. It's a long 8 for Leuzinger. And they're just going to have to go for it with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in their own territory.
Well, right now they're just trying to get something positive to take into practice next week as they prepare for their next game, and we'll talk about that right after this play.
The ball is caught at the 30-yard line, but short of the first down by Luis Asensio. And it'll be turned over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lawndale at their own 35-yard line.
And we're talking about what's coming up. If you're a Leuzinger Olympian fan, next week they'll be back here on CityTV as they take on Rancho Dominguez out of Long Beach, California. Then the week after that, in 2 weeks, all right, is the Mayor's Cup.
Okay.
And that's going to be at Hawthorne High School this year, and Coach Leuzinger has his Cougars growling, brother.
Really?
Saw them last week,
Missed the game last week. How they doing?
They're the real deal.
Well, they're the second. This is the second full season for Coach Leuzinger. I would imagine these Cougars are playing Leuzinger football.
They are indeed. A good game by the Cougars a week ago as they defeated Blair. I mean, they dropped 40-some points on them, something like that, maybe even 50, if I recall correctly. In fact, it was over 50, because the question was whether or not they were going to get to the 69 that they had scored the year before.
Well, Coach Mathieson is calling off the dogs. Aaron Kiefer in the ball game. Sophomore middle linebacker was starting on defense. Now he's getting some running time.
And for Coach Mathieson,
Kiefer gets the ball again.
His next 2 games are against Palos Verdes Peninsula. Now that's a Bay League team.
Yeah.
That'll be a tough one. That'll be a test for you guys. And then they wrap up against Torrance before going into Ocean League action, opening with Culver City and closing the season with a game that we'll have on CityTV, and that's at Hawthorne.
All right. 1 minute left to go in the ball game. Murray hands the ball off to Parkinson.
As the game wraps up,
and we got 40 seconds left to go. Actually, Parkinson's out of the ball game. Oh, that was Parkinson. So Parkinson gets 2 yards. Down to the, we'll call it 3 yards, down to the 31.
Unless it looks like
next home game, Ice Bucket Challenge.
Coming down to 10 seconds. And Chris Murray doesn't look like he wants to even take another snap, and the Cardinals will float over to the sideline, and this one's over. 34-7 in favor of the Lawndale Cardinals in a surprising game. This is We all thought this was going to be a lot more competitive. It turned out that way, but then Leuzinger were their own worst enemies.
They were indeed, as we said, penalties and turnovers did them in.
Leuzinger's next opponent will be next week against Rancho Dominguez.
But number 12 for the Lawndale Cardinals, Chris Murray, you really have to tip your hat to him, the 6'3" junior, who's really improved and kept this team together. He was truly the leader tonight.
Absolutely. As I've said, one of the better quarterbacks in the South Bay, if you ask me.
And let's go down to McCall.
Win tonight for Lawndale High School. Congratulations, Coach Matthiasen. Tell me, how does it feel to get that first victory of the season? I know you guys have been waiting for it.
Yeah, you know, we knew coming into the season that was going to be tough to find that first one. South is always a tricky team for us. We just quite haven't figured them out yet. And then week 2 with Crespi, it was all about survival and just being a tough and seeing what we're made out of. And, you know, we knew if we survived those 2 games, come out tonight, did make a lot of mistakes, we could come out on top.
Now, in your opinion, what was the difference tonight? What was the difference? What got you guys over that hump?
Finally getting the right pieces in on defense and then the toughness of the defense. Very, very physical game tonight. Very, very aggressive on their run rushes and just being in the right spots at the right times. And just, you know, when those pieces fall into place, good things happen.
Absolutely. Now, what's the key? You guys had the first victory. How do we get some more?
Just keeping those guys that are in the right spots healthy. You know, we're not a very deep team. We only got 30 kids. We got to keep the guys we got healthy, and just we found a good place for them to play good football, and we just got to keep them there and keep them healthy.
Well, I think you guys will have a pretty good time with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, McCall Hall, and I'm sure that Sebastian Spencer will tackle Damian Porter, a great guy, meeting him. And the Lawndale Cardinals fly to a 37-7 win, a very convincing win, that's for sure, over the Leuzinger Olympians here at Lou House. And now let's go down to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with Coach Damian Porter. Coach, tough loss today, but how does it feel to get in that first cross-league rivalry with Lawndale?
Probably not as good as they feel. We played hard, too many mistakes against a team that can execute. We got to get better at doing the little things, but I was proud of our effort. We played a lot better in the second half. Go back and watch the film and try to clean up the mistakes.
Now, Coach, you coming over from a winning program in Crespi. What are you bringing that these kids haven't seen before?
It's hard to say. A lot. They probably couldn't cover it in the interview. But we're just trying to get them to understand how to play the game of football the right way and how to play the game of life the right way. So we're going to go back and watch the film and learn as much as we can and come out next week and try to improve.
And what have you guys been going over in practice? I know you got a couple pieces over there on that offensive side, just trying to make things work with those players.
You know, we're just not really finding our groove offensively. We got to do a better job executing in the run game and playing catch in the passing game. We had some drop balls, false starts, penalties with our alignments. We got to clean up that little stuff before we can start to be a better offense and a better team overall.
Well, good luck to you next time, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Sebastian. 37-7, our final score here. The Olympians over the Cardinals, and Rufus, we have to take a break because we got to pick the tip of the hat and player of the game.
Got to do all that, brother.
That's right.
It's already in the house.
So why don't we take a timeout on City TV?
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow a jumper. Good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
And the final final score again from Olympian Field, a.k.a. Lou House. Lawndale flying out to a 34-7 win over the Leuzinger Olympians, and it's time. Everybody is waiting for the player of the game and the tip of the hat. Rufus, wait a minute. Who does? Well, it's got to be the player of the game last, right?
All right. This time, I mean, that doesn't have to be. But,
well, I mean, you got to get the drum roll. I mean, that's the top of the hill. You got to climb the hill to the player of the game.
As I've said before, there's some players who covet more the tip of the hat award.
Well, you better get the brim out, though. That's a new brim you've uncovered.
But having said that,
yes,
here you see it here, fans. The tip of the hat award tonight goes to.
Wait a minute. You sure you want to do the player of the game or the tip of the hat first?
This is a Bailey of Hollywood.
Bailey of
Hollywood.
You
can't see it, but on the inside it has an inscription that says, "What's on your mind?" And of course, if you've got a hat on your head, then your hat's on your mind.
That's it, especially that beautiful hat.
Right. Okay.
That's no big box overstock store hat.
No, this isn't, brother. But let's talk about the young man who earned this award tonight with his defensive play for the Leuzinger Olympians. Again, in a game where the final was 34-7, 27 of those 34 were scored in the first half by Lawndale, but in on many tackles and a number of defensive plays for the Olympians. And making a name for himself was number 42, and that is none other than Samsoni Leuzinger. And Samsoni, we are pleased to present you with the Tip of the Hat Award for the night. Congratulations, young man.
That's right. And the player of the game for tonight.
Player of the game for tonight, I think, was a unanimous decision. We've seen him for years. Did an excellent job of running the offense for this Lawndale Cardinal team. None other than their quarterback, number 12, Chris Murray. Now, he's now, what, 16 or 17? I think when he started, he was like 13 or 14
12,
or something that he couldn't play. So he's here, and actually,
our two reporters are talking to him without a microphone or a camera. So maybe if we can wake some camera people up over there, put them back on a headset.
All right.
Okay. All right.
But
Chris Murray's having a good time.
Chris Murray's player of the game, and I think we're going to get a chance to see him a couple more times this season. But he is looking good running that offense.
Absolutely. Well, it's time to put this one up on the shelf and put a bow on this one. And tell you once again the final score from Lou House, Olympian Field. The Cardinals 34, the Olympians 7. Until next time, for the CityTV crew, McCall Hall, Sebastian Spencer, my partner Rufus Washington, I'm Leuzinger.